Welcome to the Guerrilla Lab podcast, where we talk about marketing, science, and science-based tools on how to improve your life, marketing, branding, positioning, messaging, and all that good stuff. Today we're going to talk about a discussion that I had this morning with a person named Valerie. And the discussion I had yesterday night after the running club. We'll talk about the running club. We'll talk about how the running club started, where it's headed, and what's the goal with this running club. So yesterday we had the second run of the club. We started the club like 2 weeks ago. We had like 1 week ago. The second run we had 5 people, I believe. The first one we had 4. So the club's getting bigger and bigger day by day. We have about 30 people in a messenger group that are interested in the running club, that want more information and have shown interest to joining the running club, and 5 people showing up. Some people are busy, some people, so yesterday, the running club was at 4 p.m. So a lot of people work at 4 p.m. So it's understandable that there were only 4 people. But this Friday, we're going to be doing it at 7:30 p.m. So we should have more people. And even if it's a Friday, some people like to party, but there's going to be something this Friday. So if you want to join the running club, just let me know. It's in Rosemont. It's at the, how do you call this? The Piste Etienne Desmarteaux. So just show up 7:30 there, and we'll just talk. Yesterday, after the running club, after the run, so it's not like a high performing elite running club. It's a social and business club that runs sometimes. So I'm gonna be walking. Yesterday I ran, but I'm recovering from an ankle injury. So I felt it last night and this morning. So next times I'll be walking for real rehab. And if you want to come just to walk and talk, that's fine. It's a running club that runs sometimes. It's a business and social club that runs sometimes. So after the run yesterday, we were with Charles, Shang, Ruby, and my sister Kelly, Coach K. And Coach K had to go somewhere for volleyball tryouts for university. And Charles, Shang, and Ruby and we went to my house, my place, and we cooked. So that was the social activity of the day. We cooked some nouilles papillon with pesto and sausage. It was really good. You'll maybe see a picture, like if you go on Instagram, Khi Running Club, CONKHI running, Khi Running. You're gonna see it on Instagram. So that was the first bonding experience that we had. We talked about, so I opened the conversation with, how crazy are you on 10? Then I was asked, like, what do you mean by crazy? Do you mean like an illness? What do you mean by crazy? And then I'm like, well, just being crazy enough to believe, crazy enough to be dumb. And it was hard to understand, so I had to explain it in a different way. But before I explained it, the two other people, they understood. So one said, I think 9 on 10, and the other said 7. I said, okay, 7 is out of any scale that exists. 7 doesn't exist, okay? Because everyone's choosing 7 because they want to say that they're quirky and they go past 5, but they're not crazy enough to say 8. You understand? So anytime I ask you something on 10, like on a scale of 0 to 10, 7 doesn't exist. So he had to say 6 or 8. He chose 8. And the explanation was, well, he's just crazy enough to choose 8, and he believes that. That's it. I won't talk for other people. But me, I chose 9.246. Why 9.246? Well, 246 because I just chose to be 246, and 9 because I'm actually crazy. And my explanation, my definition of being crazy is your ability to move from irrational to rational. So how can you move in this continuum of being rational and irrational? So if you can easily move from really like irrational to rational, it gives me an idea that your mind can switch like on a dime, can turn on a dime 180. And that's really what I'm looking for in people that are able to lead teams and grow their own community. And my goal is not to build leaders that switch on their teams like 180. It's to have leaders that are able to change and question their own minds. My goal is not to make like, some parents, they've been doing something for years, and when you tell them something, they're like, no, I'm not willing to change that. Well, that's okay, but that's not what we're gonna do, okay? So if you're able to recognize something that you said and that it's maybe not the best way to say it, or maybe you said something that was hurtful, that you're open enough and that you're crazy enough to believe that the other person could be right. You're able to be dumb. So being crazy implies that you can choose to be dumb, I believe. So again, this morning I had a talk with Val, and I told him I'm a crazy dumb guy. I'm dumb enough to be as dumb as your dumbest customer, so that if I can explain something to a 5-year-old or to someone that has hard time understanding, everyone else that you're going to talk to are going to understand what you're talking about. So if I'm dumb enough to be that dumb and that I can explain something that easily, it's going to resonate with more people. And I'm crazy enough to believe that this message can be spread all over the world. I'm crazy enough to believe in huge dreams that might not seem rational, like changing something that's like a dogma and something that's really deep rooted into society. Like a normal person that's not crazy would be like, no, Kirk, this is not something that we can change. Well, what if I'm crazy enough to believe that we can change this? I'm ready to take on any challenge, and I'm ready to move forward with anything that's aligned with my values. I'm ready to move forward with anything that makes sense and that answers the 3 questions that I ask myself before I make any decision. Those questions is 1, does this confirm my identity and who I am? Does this confirm my identity and who I am? If the answer is yes, okay, we keep going. Do I have the bandwidth, and is it within my skill set? Do I have the bandwidth, and is it within my skill set? Yes, yes, perfect. Last question is, does this get me closer to my goals and what I want? If this gets me closer to my goals and what I want, yes, you've got a winning, like, you can move forward with this. Even if it is crazy. So one of my crazy ideas is this running club. It is crazy. Some people would say, yeah, it's just a running club. Well, no, it's not just a running club. We're building the future leaders of the world in this running club. Why? Because 1, if you're in this running club, well, I can assume that you want to care about your body. I can assume that you care about health. I can assume that you care about the people you hang out with, because it's a club and it's a running club. So if you run, I would say that you care about your body. And if you join a club, well, you care about how you are perceived and how you impact the world. Because a club is to belong into something. And when you belong into a bigger vision or a mission, well, you're moving something forward. So with this running club, there's Coach K, my sister. Coach K, well, the main coach is Kelly. And I'm just here in the background, and I'm Coach K version BS, because I'm actually Coach K version BS. I'm just her brother. And the goal is for her, well, she's the one leading this. My sister's the one leading all of this. I'm just here and I'm supporting her. And when we do runs, we're gonna have in June, we're gonna have for the whole month, we're gonna have a schedule already done for the whole month, the 1st of June. Same thing for July, August, and all of that. Okay, so right now in May, we have 12 days left, 13 days left. We're gonna do like weekly for the next 2 weeks. But in June, it's gonna start. We're gonna have the whole schedule for the month out there, which Kelly and I are going to lead. So if the schedule doesn't fit your own schedule, let's say you cannot do Tuesday and Thursdays, but you can only do Monday and Wednesday, and there's no running, it's not on the schedule, you can start your own schedule. You can become the leader. You can be the person that leads this group on Monday and Wednesday. You don't need Coach K, you don't need Coach K, Kelly, or me. You can be the initiator of this group. So we give you full freedom to organize your own runs. And if you have any questions, you can reach out to Kelly or reach out to me, and we're going to be really grateful to help you. We're going to be there to help you, to support you. If you have questions about how to run the pace, how fast, how long, how far, how to run, how to start running, just reach out, and we're going to help you start your own community. So the goal of this running club is not just Kelly and I that are going to be let's say, the leaders and coaches of this running club. You can be your own leader if you choose to. So we give you the opportunity. It's not that we're someone that can give you the opportunity. No, we have the infrastructure, we have the knowledge about running. We think we have, and we kind of have the experience of running. We both ran, Kelly and I, the marathon in 2022 in 4 hours 30 or 4 hours 20, both of us. So we know how to run. We know the basics of running, and we know how to improve from a complete beginner of never running, like from couch to running, to walking. So from the couch, you have to walk, and from walking, you can run, you can jog. You don't need to jog fast. Just start walking faster. So the way that we start our runs is actually by walking. So we walk 5 minutes, and then we run 5 minutes, and then we walk 4 minutes, and we run 5 minutes, and we walk 3 minutes, and we run 5 minutes, and then it ends up that we walk 1 minute and we run 5 minutes, and we alternate over 30 minutes. So in 30 minutes, you've run 4 kilometers. The goal is not the distance. The goal is showing up and doing the work. Doing the work is maybe walking. It could be jogging. It could be sprinting. But as long as you show up and you're there to improve your own body, mind, and spirit, that's all that's needed. That's all we want. That's the actual goal of this running club. It's for you to build a community of people that care, and of people that want to be better people, that want to change the world. If I'm telling you that we give you the opportunity to grow your leadership, to start your own club within the club, to start your own community of people, like-minded people, and that you have the support of basically 30 people, then why not do it? It's like you already have everything you need within you. And I know I'm repeating myself over these podcasts, but it's really important. You were born with everything you needed. You don't need, especially people in this running club, we're 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, maybe 27. The age group is pretty young. Let's say it's 18 to 30. 18 to 30, it's people that are still looking, from high school, you're looking for a group to belong to. Often, as myself, I could not find a group where I belonged because I couldn't fit any group. I couldn't fit any group. because one, my sarcasm, like people did not understand. Like whenever I said jokes or like people genuinely thought I was dumb. Well, maybe I was actually dumb, but they did not understand. The only people that understood were people older. Like my business partner, David, for the water store, he was 37, I was 17. And he could understand me, and I felt like this kind of connection. But for him, I was just a 17-year-old kid. So for people that are older, like why would they benefit from me? Why would they want a 17-year-old kid with them? So it was hard for me to find my balance and find people that would trust me and that I could trust who were my age or older. So this is what I'm trying to do, is to create my own, to create a place where I belong. And maybe you're not gonna belong, you're not, well, maybe you're not gonna feel like you belong in my personal, you don't relate to me and you don't relate to that, that's fine. But if you do relate and what I'm creating does not resonate with you, especially what I create, but the running club you like running or you like taking care of your health, well, you can start your own mini running club inside Concrete Running Club and create your own schedule and post it on the sheet, on the common sheet. That's what ultimately we want. We want you to get involved in the community and creating your own identity and creating your own person. Because who am I to tell you to follow me? Like on Instagram, okay, maybe you follow people, it's symbolic, but generally following people in real life, you gotta make sure people have aligned values with you. And sometimes when you're just an authentic, honest, real person and ethical, it's hard to find this in today's world. It's hard to find people that believe in the same things as you, people that have faith, people that trust, people that are good people in general. It's hard to find. They are out there. They are out there. Sometimes lost, sometimes with the right people, sometimes with the wrong people. But if you can create a community of people that are good, like intrinsically good, not like fake good, like really good, that care about others, that want to lead, that has the ability to lead. Like people say, you're born a leader or not. You're born a leader or a follower. I disagree with this. I think everyone has the ability to be a leader. Everyone has the ability to follow, because a good leader is a good follower. So if you know how to follow, you know how to lead. Not, so that's not true. It's not if you know how to follow, you know how to lead. It's if you want to be a good leader, you need to be a great and amazing follower. Because if you don't know how to follow, you will not know how to lead. There are some leaders that are really bad followers. There are leaders that tell you, hey, do what I say, not what I do. They tell you, they tell you what to do, but they don't even do it themselves. That's because they don't follow their own lead. If someone is leading you towards something, but they're not following their own lead, why do they expect someone to follow them? Yes, sometimes people will still follow you. Maybe you'll have to force them. Maybe they will feel like they have no other choice. Maybe you're their last resort. Maybe that's why they're following you. They're not following you maybe because you're a good leader. If you are a good leader, well, you're gonna understand it. Like, you're gonna know when you're a good leader. I believe that I'm a great leader. And I'm crazy enough to believe that, and I'm dumb enough to believe that. I believe that if I can talk to you one-on-one in person, like if you sit across this table with me, I'm going to be able to share with you, well, no. If you sit across this table, across me, like right now you are, I'm I'm confident that, no, actually, I don't know because every person is different, but I'll try my best to understand you. I'll try my best to see your perspective. I'll try my best to understand where you're coming from. My goal is not to do that, to manipulate you or to do whatever. It's just to understand you as a human being. This morning I talked with Val and he told me about whenever you see people, there are three components to a human. There's the body, there's the mind, and there's the spirit. So the body is the body that you see. It's me that you see right now. It's the body that you're in right now. It's the body like a flesh and bones and skin. There's the mind, which is your conscious mind. Like right now I'm thinking about the Olympic Stadium behind there, trees and grass behind. And then there's the spirit, your soul. Your soul is within you. It's conscious and subconscious. It's just it's the mesh of body, mind, spirit. So the spirit is something that's really, it's hard to explain, but I'll try to explain it to you. It's your belief and your trust in yourself that is coming from confidence, coming from your hardships, your story, where you're coming from, all your experiences, they shape your soul. And how you think also shapes your soul. So when we talk about how you think, well, let me give you an example. If you always think that everything you're doing is bad, and maybe it's actually bad or not, but if you think that you're always doing something wrong, if you're always defeated, well, your soul is going to be heavy. Because when you feel like you've lost, like every single day, every day you wake up and you've lost another battle, then the war. You lost war, you lost yourself, you lost your connection, you lost your connection with your mind, body, and soul. So make sure the three are balanced and make sure that you're conscious of all three. And when you're talking to people and leading people and making sure that you try to understand people is by seeing their soul. You need to speak soul to soul, body to body, and mind to mind. But the most important one is the basis of everything is the soul. Because without soul, we have just zombie bodies and zombie minds. Because what is the mind going to do without soul? There's no direction. So the direction is coming from the soul. And so if your soul is driving a mission, if your soul is driving a boat, from the past podcast on McGill University campus, if your boat is soul driven, that wants to impact souls and change the lives of the souls, guided by yourself as a trifecta, which is your mind, body, and spirit, if all of those, just wind. So if all of those, they are aligned, well, you're gonna start reaping the rewards. The work that you're doing to align those three, body, soul, and mind, is a seed that you're planting and that you're watering. But you need to water it daily. You need to water your three facets daily. One of my mentors, Mike, he talks about spirituality and souls like a muscle, the spiritual muscle. This is not some woo shit, it's just this part of you that is deeper ingrained into you. When you start understanding that your soul is something that you can work on and that is it's a muscle that you need to work on and that you need to work out, sometimes it's gonna hurt. In order for a muscle like my huge biceps to grow, they need to tear, to déchirer, and by sleeping eating like maybe protein or eating, your muscles recover, but they remember the tear and they grow. This is really unscientific, but that's it. So protein is basically repairing your muscles, and tearing them is what it's repairing. So you need to tear your muscles to grow them. I believe that that's a fact. I believe that. So how do you tear your soul for it to grow? How do you tear your spirituality for it to grow? Well, first, the protein is your self-work on yourself. The tear is the hardships that you go through. The tear is the bad words that people say about you, your haters. You're not doing things for your haters. Well, maybe you are, but is it the best way? I'm not sure. Let's say, for example, that you've been torn up by others, by your parents, by your friends, by your loved ones, by your husband, by your wife, by your boyfriend, by your girlfriend. They've torn you apart. All you can do from now on is to heal that wound for it to grow, for you to grow. So if you're able to recognize that you've been torn apart, you see it. You see your, like in the mirror, it hurts. You know you've been hurt. You just don't want to admit it because it's gonna hurt more. And it's counterintuitive to say, okay, it really hurts right now. But you need to understand it in order for you to grow. So once you recognize it, you can choose to do something better with it. Because your trauma is not your fault. But how you deal with your trauma is your responsibility. You need to take care of your trauma, or else it will take care of you, and it's going to drive you like really crazy and in a deep hole that you can, not that you can never get out, but in a deep hole that's going to be really, really harder to get out than if you just recognize it first and jump straight into repairing those holes, those tear up. So once you recognize that you've been torn up, you can start working on that. What do I mean by working on your tears? It's one, recognizing it, which it sounds really trivial and easy, but sometimes it's hard to see. And once you see it, what do you do with it? So once you see it, what you can do is ask yourself questions. This is the protein, this is the work. You have to do the work. So the work literally is coming from Byron Katie, Byron space Katie. Exactly, Byron Katie. What she calls the work is you doing the work on your past trauma, on your past experiences, and seeing the truth, seeing what reality is and how you are feeling, and it's doing the work on your spirit. She's giving you protein. You just need to take it, and your muscles are gonna grow because you've been hurt, because you've torn up you have tears in your muscle. You have tears in your spirituality, in your spirit. So doing the work is, first, you ask, is it true? Did this experience, did this trauma, did this PTSD happen? Did this tear happen? Is it true? Okay. Next question, do you really know, do you absolutely know that it's true? Do you absolutely know that it's true? If the answer is no, then you ask yourself other questions. Let's say it's actually true. Okay, how do you feel when that is true? Okay, so knowing that it is true, how would you feel if we remove that feeling? So it's switching it up. So knowing that it is true and trying to remove that feeling, how do you feel? Well, let's say I feel blissful, I feel relaxed, I feel relieved if that feeling was removed. So from there, you can ask other questions. This is out of the work from Byron Katie. It's okay, so from there, what can I do from it? What can I do knowing that this is true? Well, I cannot just whine about it because where's that going to bring me? I cannot force myself to believe that it's not true because it is actually true. So it's just by asking questions and doing the work on your spirit and doing the work on your own mindset that you're going to be able to grow your spiritual muscle. And I think that's really important. Okay? So it's been 30 minutes. I hope that you've enjoyed this podcast. This is the Guerrilla Lab podcast with Kirk Wen. And this is going to be it. So enjoy your day. I hope you had a wonderful one, and we will talk soon. All the future podcasts are probably going to be 30 minutes. It's more concise. It forces me to put my ideas like in a shorter form. And it's like Twitter. Instead of doing a whole long Facebook post, I post I don't know how many characters on Twitter. And it's just the same idea, but more precise, more concise, easier to understand. My goal is not to spurge all my brain matter onto you. It's just to document my own journey, document my thoughts, document how my philosophy changes, how my way of thinking changes, and what kind of frameworks I apply to my thoughts. So if you like it, give it a like. If you don't like it, give it a like. Don't do that because you're going to be lying to yourself. If you don't like it, leave me a hate comment. No, don't do that. Hate comments don't change anything. If you don't like it, just tell me. Comment and tell me, hey Kirk, I didn't like the part where you said that. Or DM me if you don't want to comment. Or like do whatever you want. I'm just telling you, I would love some feedback. Tell me if this sucks. Tell me if this is good. Just give me some feedback and I'll be grateful for you and your feedback and your comments. And I'd love to see you on the podcast because right now I still have like 1, 2, 3 views per videos, and you could be part, especially you, Jason Lio. I know who you are. I know where you're at. We've been to the same elementary school, high school. So let's link up on the Guerrilla Lab podcast and enjoy your week, enjoy your evening, enjoy your day. Good morning, good afternoon, and good night.